What's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody, man? Hold on a second. Let me put the music on real quick, man. We gonna rant with this one, man. First off, very disappointed. Very disappointed, especially when your defense at times came up with the plays to get your offense the ball, and your offense didn't do anything with it. Seemed like deja vu, man. Seemed like deja vu, man. Get in here, get here. Make sure you hit the like button. Let the algorithm know when you're in the building. Listen, we got a lot to talk about, man. Anybody that follows me on Twitter, they saw how I was tweeting throughout the game, from the first quarter to the last quarter. Pissed off, man. Especially when the defense wasn't great. The defense wasn't great. The defense was not great, but they still gave you a chance to be in this game. Still gave you a chance to be in this game. The end of the game, when they were running the clock out, we gave up 2 big runs. It is what it is on that. It is what it is on that. I'm talking about early on. I didn't like the play calling. I didn't like the offensive line. The guards were getting their butts whooped. Malik Neighbors was getting frustrated. You know who showed up for this game? Wan'Dale Robinson showed up for this game. Wan'Dale Robinson showed up for this game. All the trash we've been giving Wan'Dale Robinson, he was the only one that actually showed up today. Theo Johnson got drops. Russell Wilson looked horrible. Russell Wilson wasn't comfortable at all. And the crazy thing about it is this. We're going to talk about it, man. I got a list of things because I want to keep it in order. There's a list of things. First off, I'm going to say is congratulations to the Commanders. Everything that they normally do, they did. No adjustments were made in the first half. No real adjustments were made in the second half by Bowen. We stuck with the soft zone. Why are you spying Jaden Daniels? That's the one thing I didn't want. I did not want to see the spy in Jaden Daniels when you're just going. I don't need Abdul Carter staring at Jaden Daniels while he's staring at the field. He's surveying the field. Meanwhile, the spy is just looking at him. No pressure. And what did Jaden Daniels do? I got 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Let me find a tight end up the middle. That soft zone, you went out and got Paulson Adebo, who was a man coverage corner. Deontay Banks is a man coverage corner. And we didn't even see Deontay Banks. Cordell Flott is a versatile corner, but still a man coverage corner. And we sit into these soft zones. And what happens? You don't get the pressure with 4. And Jaden Daniels is Jaden Daniels, surveying the field, and it is exactly what everybody's saying happened. It happened. So let's talk about that second drive, right? That second drive, we had the ball for almost 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Played had about 8 downs because of the penalty. 8 downs within the 5-yard line, and we got cute. We couldn't get any push. Tyrone Tracy couldn't get any push. And then what happened with Cam Scatterbo? Where did Scatterbo go? Did he get injured? We saw him make that one nice play where he broke a couple of tackles, a tone-setting type of play, and then we didn't see him anymore. No push from the offensive line. And I can't even blame James Hudson because it was the interior offensive line that was worse. Now, James Hudson did have a penalty, and I told you guys before, I'm ready for Bo right now. Right now, get Bo out there. But I can't even look at that right now because Van Roten got his ass kicked. Runyon got his ass kicked. JMS did better than both of those guys, but he still got his ass kicked. What are we doing, man? What are we doing, man? I can't even keep up with the comments. I'm gonna just get the comments where I can get the comments. And I know I'm looking for the Commander fan now because I know he's gonna pop up. Jonathan Hart, I see you already. You listen. Shout out to you. We got some therapy to take care of first though, and then we can get to you. The defense did not play well, but still gave the offense the opportunity to put points on the board. I'm more upset with this offense because you know what happens? It happens like this all the time. The defense can do just enough, especially early on, just enough to get the ball back to the offense. And what we do, we punt the ball right back to the Commanders. That one long drive, no points. No points. For the fourth season in a row, not one touchdown in the opening half of the first game. This is the fourth season in a row, and no adjustments were made. Theo Johnson with the drop, right? And then we see a big catch by Daniel Bellinger in the fourth quarter on that last drive. And everybody wanted Daniel Bellinger off of this team. But he was the one that came up with the big catch to keep the drive alive, right? And then we look at who. We talk trash about Wan'Dale Robinson, right? But he was the one keeping drives alive. Malik Neighbors. Here's the thing with Malik Neighbors, right? We understand Malik Neighbors is him. The number one game plan for the Washington Commanders was to make this game hard on Malik Neighbors. And we saw them. Over the top coverage with the safety help, the shadowing. We saw all of that in the game. And that's why Wan'Dale Robinson was able to be effective. Because everybody was so focused on Malik Neighbors that Wan'Dale Robinson was able to be a good gadget guy. But we see the frustration. And I understand, and here's the thing. It's the first game. I understand, Malik Neighbors, that you're frustrated. I understand you want to, he's pouting a little bit. It's the first game. But guess what? They made a conscious effort to get you the targets. They threw the ball to you. You made a couple of plays. I need your attitude to be a little bit different because everybody's struggling, not just you. It wasn't just you struggling out there. The whole offense was struggling. It wasn't just about you not getting the ball. Now let's talk about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was not comfortable the entire game. The only plays that he threw on time were the plays to Wan'Dale Robinson, really, and those were out routes. We saw today that his height affects him without the throwing lanes. His height affects him without the throwing lanes. He couldn't see anything. We had a couple plays where guys were able to get down the field. Russ couldn't do, and he was shaky. That one play, he had almost 6 seconds in the pocket. He was panicking the whole time, didn't know what to do with it, and ended up just chucking it out of bounds. Listen, we heard the rumors about, I'm all over the place, and I do apologize. It's a rant. We heard all this news and speculation about a possible Jackson Dart package, right? No such package existed. That had to be BS. No, but at the end of the day, do you really throw Jackson Dart behind that offensive line the way that offensive line was looking? Listen, if somebody's going to take the bumps and bruises early in the season, let it be Russell Wilson. And if Russell Wilson really ain't getting it done, let it be Jameis Winston that takes, because until we get this offensive line right, I don't want to put Dart back there for that. For what? A lot of people calling for Jackson Dart for what? So he can get pummeled the way that Russell got pummeled, and he didn't get sacked a bunch of times. But just thinking about the pressure, luckily he's the type to get the ball out. But what are we talking about here? No way you putting Dart behind this line. Look in the way that it looked. And you know what's crazy? The whole game was crazy, but Dexter Lawrence, right? Dexter Lawrence in his defensive front started off slow. The Washington was able to get down the field and all that. It started off slow, and then they slowly started making their strides a little bit, but we still can't stop the run to save our lives. We still can't stop the run to save our lives. We still can't set the edge. But more importantly is this. What the hell was Shane Bowen doing with Abdul Carter? What was he doing with Abdul Carter? What were you doing with Abdul Carter, Shane Bowen? I don't understand. And like I said, some other people said, we need to spy. We need to spy Jaden Daniels with Carter. He's athletic enough to do it. And when we saw Carter spy him, it did not work. It did not matter. The only time Carter started affecting the game is when he started coming off the edge. When he did block a punt. Fantastic. He got his hands on a punt. That's fantastic. If he can get to the punter off the edge, I'm pretty sure he can get to the quarterback off the edge. We didn't see him start playing the edge until when? Mid third quarter, they decided to take Tibbs off the field a little bit. Right, but let me get through the kudos. First off, let me get to this super chat really quickly. Shout out to my man Talking Echo with the $4.99 super chat.
Here comes the money.
Listen, I appreciate the love and support, man. Brian Burns had a game today. Dexter Lawrence had a tough game today. Triple team, double team, triple team for most of the game. Where was Roy Robinson Harris? They put Nacho in there. Where was Nacho? Micah McFadden went out early, leg in the air cast. Bobby Okereke missing plays. And shout out to my man, Coach Ray. Coach Ray said the only thing that gave him a problem or some concern on this defense before the game was the linebackers and being short tacklers. There were some plays where Bobby O was in the position and he just couldn't do it. Whether it was recognition or not, I don't know what's going on, man. And despite all that, we go into the half 14-3. Despite all of that, we go into the half 14-3, getting the ball back at halftime with a chance to actually make it a game. And what did we do when we got the ball in the second half? Damn near 3 and out. When you needed it the most, you couldn't do it. And again, I don't know if Scatterboo got hurt. I don't know if because he just disappeared. We saw Devin Singletary, we saw Tyrone Tracy. If we can't run the ball even a little bit, what are we doing? First and goal on a 3-yard line. What are we calling? Trick plays. Trick plays on first and goal on a 3-yard line. We call trick plays. I think I hated every first down play in this game. Except for the quick slant to Malik Neighbors on the left side. That might have been the only first down play that I didn't like. We tried to run the ball up the middle and got stuffed every time. And again, Van Roten got his ass kicked. John Runyon got his ass kicked. JMS, it doesn't even matter what kind of... I actually think he played better than the 2 guards. But it doesn't matter because you're still giving up pressure in the middle. And by that time, Russell Wilson was not even comfortable. So let's talk about Russell Wilson. And I see it in the comments already. Let's talk about Russell Wilson, right? Russell Wilson. Because the main thing that I wanted to see from Russell Wilson was this. Can you get the ball out on time? And in that very first series, he tried to do that. Well, not in the very first series. The second series where we had the long drive with the field goal. When he was on time, short plays, it looked okay. It didn't look good, didn't look solid. It looked just okay. Where's the screen, please? You saw how aggressive the Commanders were. Come to find out, at the end of the game, they blitzed on 50% of the defensive plays. I can see it. You can see it. What the hell is Kafka and Dable looking at? They blitzed on 50% of the defensive plays. 50%. You didn't use that aggression against them. You didn't go to the draw or the screenplay. You didn't go to the RPO. You didn't do that. You didn't do that. You didn't take the deep shots to make them respect the passing game. You didn't do that. But every time you did try to go deep, you tried to do it off the play action. And guess what doesn't work when you're not successful running the ball? The play action. How do you run play action when you're not successful running the ball? It does not make sense. It does not make sense. And I keep going back to, because first quarter we had a chance. Second quarter, despite how the offenses looked, when you looked at the score, we still had a chance. Third quarter, despite how it looked, we still had a chance. And then finally, the defense broke in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left. After they gave the offense the ball back so many times. It's trash, man. Shout out to my man Danny R. Says all of that season preparation to start the season only to score 2 field goals. Simply disgraceful. The New York field goal Giants. That's what we saw. The New York. You know what? Let me go ahead and play the song for today's performance. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, nah, Brian Dable, nah, Mike Kafka, hey, Shane Bowen. Hey, get that game plan out of here, man.
Stop it. Get
that help. Game plan out of here. All right, let's talk about this defensive line, man. Let's get into some details, right? So once you realize that you really couldn't get pressure with the straight up with 4, you couldn't get the pressure with 4. Why didn't you send anybody? Not a corner blitz, not a safety blitz. And I got to go back and watch the game, but I don't remember seeing a corner blitz or a safety blitz. You know why you didn't see that? Because you was too busy worrying about spying Jaden Daniels. You're so scared of Jaden Daniels that you played. Usually you want tell me if this makes sense. You want your defense to play like an offense, aggressiveness. You want your defense to dictate. We didn't do that. What did we do? We sat back and watched Jaden Daniels pick us apart. Sat back, zone, and they found every soft spot in the zone imaginable. Every soft spot they found it. We saw the graphics. Every soft spot. And guess where that soft spot was? Right either in front of the linebackers or behind the linebackers. That's where the soft spot was all game, and they went there all game. I don't even know some of these wide receivers that play for the Commanders. Bunch of no-name guys. I think Terry McLaurin might have had 1 big catch the whole game. Everything else was what? Who? Somebody tell me who made the plays outside of the running backs. It was so bad that the no-names beat us. Outside of Jaden Daniels, the no-names beat us. And then the kid, Ja'Cory, whatever his name is, they call him Bill. And then he breaks the back of the New York Giants' paws with that run out of the end zone. We can't score in the red zone. That's crazy. You know who I would have loved to have on the field? I would have loved to have Greg Dulcich on the field if we had him still. I would have loved to have Thomas Fidone on the field if we had him, active, if he was actually wearing shoulder pads today, but he wasn't wearing shoulder pads today. What's going on? My man Shinye says new season, same impotent offensive line. I get Mbo in there right away. I don't care where you put him. Get Bo in there right away. Andrew Thomas with the foot, please. At some point in time, I need you. But guess what? That's not even the problem. Like I said, James Hudson is James Hudson, but that wasn't even a problem. The problem was 3 guys in the middle. Pause. It was Runyon, it was JMS, and again, JMS wasn't as bad as the 2 guards. It was Runyon, JMS, and freaking Van Roten. They got lit up today. And guess who was getting constant pressure with only 4 people? Well, actually no, because they were sending the blitz. But the front 4 was getting pressure too. They almost didn't even need the extra guys that they were sending in. And we didn't also, and I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm all over the place. When you see that they're sending so many people, like where are your check downs? They call Russell Wilson the check down king. Where are your check down routes? Where are they? You know what you like to do? You know what OCs do? When you replace the spot of the defender. So when they're sending that middle linebacker blitz, how about you sit that tight end right there, and to replace the spot or the vacant spot of the linebacker? Because that's what they did to us when we bailed in that soft zone. What did they do? Sent the tight end, whether it was Ertz, I don't even know the other guy's name. They sent them to the spot where the guy used to be, and they took the check down. And then to add insult to injury, if you're going to play a soft zone, the least you can do is make the play as soon as the guy catches the ball. That's the least you can do. But no, they catch the ball, they get an extra 6 yards, 3 yards. They get the first down. How many conversions did they have? 2nd and 16 conversion. 3rd and 15 conversion. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Shout out to MAN for Masculine Alpha Network. He says, bro, Debo cooked us. That last play cooked us. That touchdown he got on a little short, I can't even call it a jet sweep because it was like a half motion and he came across. It was like a little shovel pass. And what did he do? We couldn't set the edge. He broke the tackle of Andrew Phillips, and then he jumped into the end zone. Before that though, he wasn't a real factor. He wasn't a real factor. He made a couple of plays, but it wasn't the type of impact that we expected until that fourth quarter. When the bend but don't break defense turned into the broken defense. Shout out to my man Patch Maybe says 8 months and millions of dollars just to be, worse than we were last year. Why do we always fall for this? Shaking my head, not even one touchdown. I'll say this to that. Again, at the end of the day, it's still the Washington Commanders. It's still the Washington Commanders at the end of the day. These guys are, Super Bowl contenders at the end of the day. But with that being said, the defense did not play well, but they still gave the offense the opportunity to score points when we needed it. And we didn't get it. The offense was a bigger problem. Again, both were problems today. Offense, defense was problem. Special teams was problem too because they gave up a big return. And the punter was trash. The Scottish Hammer was trash today. Either it was short or too long. Pause. We spent a lot of money in this offseason. And you know what's crazy about it, though? Because, again, some of these guys that because even not a Debo, even Holland had a big play on a third down to get these guys off the field, but then he also missed that play on Debo Samuels. Tyler Nubin had a couple good plays, but then he gave up the holding call on the tight end. Like, you can't expect the defense to play perfect, which I don't expect them to play perfect. I expect them to play better than that. But when the defense does its job, I expect the offense to do their job as well. And I got a bigger problem with the offense than I do the defense, and that's saying a lot because I thought the defense was not good at all. You guys tell me, man, what was the bigger problem today, the offense or the defense? There's a million people you can point your finger at today. Shane Bowen is one of them. Mike Kafka is one of them. The offensive line is one of them. Russell Wilson is one of them. You can't point your finger at Wan'Dale Robinson, though, because he showed up today. He was ready to play. You can't point your finger at Brian Burns. Why? Because he came to play. He had a 2-sack game. I still don't know what happened to Dexter Lawrence. It's upsetting. I still want to know. I do want to know. Offense and defense. What we talking about? What were you more upset about? The offense or the defense? Let me know, please. In the comment section, please. My man Greg said, because Bowen is much like Dable, given a spot he didn't earn, he was promoted to DC and the Titans from an analyst. That was Vrabel's defense, not Shane's. He is as green as Dable. McCann says that stupid soft. Listen, I've been tired of the soft zone since what was a guy that we had back in the day? Even when we had the guy with Patrick Graham. I've been tired of the soft zone since Patrick Graham. And somehow, some way, we always find ourselves in that soft zone. The only time we did not have that soft zone was Wink Martindale. Guess what? I can use Wink Martindale right about now. I can use his type of aggressiveness right now with the kind of playmakers that we have right now. You know what Wink Martindale used to do? Make adjustments. And he didn't wait to halftime to make adjustments. He kind of made them on the spot. My man Blazing says no touchdowns. That's a fact. Not one touchdown. My man Aaron Mason says New York, no football Giants. New Yorker says our linebackers suck. Listen, when Micah McFadden got out of the game, I said, oh boy. They put Moorsau in, and I took another deep breath because I already knew what it was. And then what did we do? We didn't make the adjustment and play 3 safeties. We didn't do that. We left Moosau in the game. Until when? Until the fourth quarter when you decided to do what? Play 3 safeties. I never coached football a day in my life. I only played it. But even I know better than what they was doing. Why did it take you so long to make the adjustments? As soon as Micah McFadden went down, you should have went to the 3 safety look. But no, you waited till the fourth quarter to do that. Waited. That's the problem with the New York Giants. They wait for stuff to happen before they do something. Every first down play, I hated. Now, let's talk, again, the run game, right? You always want to be able to run the ball and stop the run. We couldn't do either one of those things today. And that's a recipe for disaster. And if you can't run the ball, what should you do? You should manufacture the short game and turn that into an extension of the run game. In the early 2000s, Donovan McNabb and I forget, Brian Westbrook. They couldn't run the ball to save their lives. What did they do? They got the running back involved in the short passing game. We didn't see any of that today. And the one time we did see that, Tyrone Tracy couldn't even hold on to the ball. And I put it right on Twitter. As soon as I saw that play with Tyrone Tracy, he was right there at the first down line. He couldn't even hold on the ball. I said, you know what? I think Cam Scatterbull can make that play. That's a play I think Cam Scatterbull knows that we need to have it, and he makes that play. And that's not even a knock on Tyrone Tracy. That's just the type of players we have on this team. They need to fit certain spots. Because right now you got a collection of players, and it does not look like a team. We like the preseason is the preseason. Once you see that something is not working, you don't just keep doing it. Or you do it with different personnel. You just don't keep running the same plays that you know was like, okay, you're in a shotgun and you're doing the dive, running back dive. It has not worked the first 7 times you did it. What makes you think it's going to work this time? And then after an unsuccessful run play, what do? You go to the play action. The dumbest thing in the world. There is no such thing as play action if you're not successful running the ball. They don't believe you. The defense does not believe you. We did all this motion. And guess what? They were playing zone. What is all this motion for? I saw Malik Neighbors run up and down the line of scrimmage. Just motion for no reason. I saw the Commanders recognize it. Nobody moved. Nobody's falling for it. You can't get the wide receiver screen off because nobody's falling for it. Nobody is falling for the motion. By the time you get to the third quarter and you see that nobody's moving for why are you even still going in the motion? They're playing zone. And they're sending 6, sending 5. We see it. I got a big enough TV. I can see it. I didn't sit down the whole second half. I might be peeking right now. I apologize, man. If somebody's listening in their headphones and I'm super duper loud, I apologize. But listen, I got to get this ran off, man. I got to get this ran off. Ian Campbell says, Bobby O can't tackle Eckler. Listen, man, that was a big play. He was right there. On what was it? There was another play where Golson set an okay edge. And then Flock got caught in the wash. You set a decent edge. Hopefully somebody can scrape over the top to make the play. We look dysfunctional out there today. And despite all that, we were still in the game for 3 quarters. Still in the game for 3 quarters. It's not like the Commanders dropped 40 on us. They didn't drop 40 on us. But you know what they did? They had 200 yards in the air and also 200 yards on the ground. And again, some of those came in garbage time at the end of the game, but it is what it is. Maybe like 70 of those yards came in garbage time, but it is what it is at the end of the day. Some people see the box score. The box score is a box score, even if you didn't watch the game. My man Adam Rich says, he's replying to Stephen Arts. He says the linemen are all taller than Dart. No quarterback sees over the lineman. That's a complete myth. I didn't see the original. Listen, I know that Russ can't see over the line. And that was the problem. He couldn't see anything. He was panicking. He saw a bunch of offensive. Even when he had a pocket, he couldn't see around the pocket, and he had no throwing lanes. And that's why he looked so bad. And we need to understand that. Guess what the Commanders did? Once we started getting pressure a little, not even once we started getting pressure. Once they felt that they started doing what? Design rollouts. So you mean to tell me that Cliff Kingsbury is out here playing chess while the Giants are playing checkers? A designed rollout, and I'm sitting here staring at Abdul Carter while he's staring at Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels is staring at his receiver doing the out route 25 yards downfield. Strike. What? And then even at the end of the first half, right? Even though we were lucky enough to get the ground in play, did you see Abdul Carter? He got the pressure. Like he came free on Jaden Daniels, and all he did was this: put his hand up. And Jaden Daniels throws the ball over him, luckily, for the grounding, and then they weren't able to get points there. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, it's been instilled in him so much that even when he had a straight shot at the quarterback, he decided just to hold his hands up and try to block his vision. That's coaching. That's the scheme. That's coaching, and that's the scheme. Also this, on that last play that we had in the red zone, the pass from Russell Wilson to Wan'Dale Robinson. Why is your 5'8" wide receiver in the back of the end zone? That's not a place for your shortest wide receiver. Your shorter wide receivers run flats so they can get to the goal line and run the short pass. To get the short pass for the touchdown. You don't run a crossing route with a 5'8" wide receiver against zone coverage. That's what Fedoni is for. That's what Theo Johnson is for. That's what Daniel Bellinger is for. Those guys got a better chance of catching the alley-oop that Russ is going to throw there. Because two things don't add up. You got Russ who's short that can't see over the line. You already got a limited area of space because you're in the red zone already. Because the back of the end zone is a boundary as well. So Russ can't see. Wan'Dale Robinson can't see. But you got him running the deep crossing route in the end zone. What sense does that make? There was a touchdown, too, that could have been a touchdown, but Russell Wilson didn't look that way. In the first half, in that second drive where we ended up with 3 points, you had Darius Slayton on a little leak out on the left side. You get him the ball. I think he beats the cornerback that was trailing. But Russell Wilson can't even look that way. Why? First of all, he's not comfortable, again, and he's not tall enough for that throwing lane to see that guy leaking. Even if he turns that way, he's just throwing it up as a prayer, an alley-oop. So something got to shake. Some adjustments got to be made. When they look at this game tape, they should be discussing with themselves. They should be discussing with themselves when they put on this tape. Well, the coaches are already going to be discussing tonight, looking at this tape and just see how many adjustments that should have been made that did not happen. Because again, maybe because I'm looking from the TV and I got the Madden view because I'm on TV, I can see more of the field. And maybe Mike Kafka needs to be back in that booth so he can see something. Because him being on the side, he couldn't. The play calling was terrible. The game plan was terrible. The execution was terrible. And then you know what I also thought about? I thought about, we didn't see Hyatt today at all. And I just thought about the way that they were playing defense so aggressively, right? And their defense was so tight, even their corners. Now the safeties, they were shading and stuff like that, so they were pretty deep. But even if you don't plan on using Hyatt, you put him out there to try to see if you can possibly soften up that defense a little bit. Give him something to respect. That's the problem. We didn't give him anything to respect. We couldn't run the ball. There was no short game. There was no deep game. They just did whatever they wanted. And they decided to keep it with they didn't change up their defense at all. They ran the same defense. They didn't have to make an adjustment. Just like they didn't have to make an adjustment on offense. We just so happened to get them off the field on occasions. No complimentary football. No complimentary football. And the offense was horrible. I'm tired of it, man. First game of the season. I know a lot of people are going to still be down. We still got a lot more games to go. We got to see what's going on now with this whole Dallas thing, and to see what they're going to do about Russell Wilson and to change up this scheme up a little bit. We saw a lot of him being under the center too in the first half. That didn't work. And again, that's how they play it with Russell Wilson. That's his strength. The play action is his strength. Playing with his back against the defense is his strength, but you got to be able to protect him, because once you can't protect him, he catches a case of the yips. And he had the yips the whole game. Russell Wilson was petrified back there. They was hitting him in the head. They was pushing him down. Like I said, they didn't get a whole bunch of sacks. He was able to get the ball out, but he was under constant pressure. Constant pressure. I got a question for Jonathan Hart. He says, LOL, the Giants ass, y'all would go 0-17. If we were so ass, why didn't you blow us out? Why was it so hard for y'all to score points? Huh? Enjoy your win. The way this defense was playing, you should have dropped 40 on the New York Giants, but you didn't. You got your own problems to worry about. And guess what? That guy that you was boasting, Connerly, got his ass whooped today. Tunzel didn't look good either. That's why they had to do what? Design rollouts. Because your two acquisitions that you had, your two bookend tackles was trash today. So go worry about that. Tunzel was in the blender today. Connerly was in the blender today. You better thank your guards and your center. That's who you need to thank today. And your run game. Get out of here. Y'all in big trouble. When y'all come across a defensive coordinator that knows how to play, your tackles is toast. I saw Burns put Connerly in a blender today. Stop it. Enjoy, like I said, enjoy your win while you can. That's fantastic. You guys got the win. Shout out to y'all. But don't come in with no blanking statements. I'm already mad enough. Where's I at? Shout out to my man Danny Boy says, damn Dash, yeah, man. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's bad. What we got? Let's see. Conservative guy said it was also clear Quinn outcoached Dable, and the stupid Giants passed on hiring Quinn in 2021. Everybody was outcoached today. Dable outcoached, Kafka outcoached, Bowen outcoached. Something got to happen with that. Jonathan Hart says, Debo, 7 catches for 77 yards. Yeah, one of those was a shuffle pass for like 30 yards. Yeah. Good for you. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're happy. And my man BG says, if not Dart, please bring in Winston. I'm not mad at that right now. Again, this is right after the game. This is a raw reaction. I'm going to feel this way. I don't have my rational mind right now, so I'm going to agree with a lot of things that I probably won't agree with in about an hour or two. I think that Russell had a flustering game. Again, the offensive line did not help. A lot of bad throws too, man. Malik Neighbors saved him a couple times too. He threw up a couple of Hail Marys, alley-oops that Malik Neighbors was able to come down with, but there was a couple of throws. Like Neighbors had Amos, not Amos. Yeah, Neighbors had Amos beat a few times. Russ couldn't get him the ball. Darius Slayton was open a few times. Russ couldn't get him the ball. It's an entirely different game if you can just get the ball out to him in a good ball. The main thing that went into my decision of playing Russ over Jackson Dart was he was going to be more aggressive. He was going to take the chances downfield. We didn't see that. And then it's a slippery slope when we talk about Jameis Winston too. It's a slippery slope because you know for a fact. Well, first of all, he's 6'5" and he can see. But also sometimes he sees things that are not there. Sometimes he sees players open, but they're not really open, and it becomes either a big play or a disaster. That's the difference when you go to Jameis Winston. But as far as the people talking about Jackson Dart, I'm not throwing Dart into this mess until we can prove that we can protect the quarterback just a little bit. You do not throw Jackson Dart in, and that's probably why we didn't see Jackson Dart today. They looked at what was going on with the offensive line. They said, yeah, we're not throwing the kid into this mess. Ain't no way. Ain't no way we throwing Jackson Dart in this. You're going to ruin the kid before he gets a chance. Luann says, why didn't the Giants you talking about tackling? Listen. Not posting the Debo. Debo Samuels did exactly what they traded for. It was a trick play, and then it was, finding a soft spot in the zone. And he had 2 big plays today. Like my man said, 7 catches for 77 yards. One of those catches in those 7 catches was a 6-yard loss too. But we ain't talking about that because Andrew Phillips made a hell of a play on a little swing route. But it is what it is. Again, when people look at the box score, they talk crazy. The game is fresh in my mind right now. We could talk about whatever we want to talk about. Good Lord. Mosley says, and this is a fact, Russ spent most of the game on his back. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He was shaken up. He had a hard time. The offensive line did him no favors today. No favors today. He was able to he was able to, tuck the ball and run a couple of times. I wish they would have had more of a design run to try to loosen things up. But man, no adjustments. That's what surprised me the most. I said as soon as we got the ball back in the third quarter, when it was 14-6, when it was a 1-score game, I said, oh man, we better see the shotgun this entire time now. No, under center. Halfback dive. On first down. No gain or loss. 2nd and 11. What are we doing? What are we doing? Amateur hour, man. Amateur hour. I can't wait to see what Brian Dable has to say. And hopefully the beat writers don't take it easy on him. My man Blazing says punter. Yeah, the punter, yeah, he was trash today. Absolutely trash today. All 3 phases of the game were awful. Shout out to Graham Gano. Shout out to Graham Gano. Yes, he got us the only points. I really don't want to talk about it because we should have had some touchdowns. But shout out to Graham Gano. The punter was awful. My man, the Bronx, North Philly, that's a hell of a name. He says, we look worse against Washington compared to last season. I think it was the same. We were able to score. Yeah, it did. I think defensively, it was the same. Offensively, we actually played better last year, especially in week 2. We played better. We ran the ball better. Believe it or not, Devin Singletary ran the ball better last year versus the Commanders. And you saw them try to do that too. They're not slick. Tyrone Tracy wasn't working. Cam Scatterbull ended up on a milk carton. Again, maybe he got dinged up. I don't know. Then they tried to throw Devin Singletary in there, and it did not work. It's time to do some reevaluations. My range, I'm not changing my range. My original range was 6 to 9 wins, and I bumped it up to 7 to 10 wins. We got to make some changes. And what Luann says, Dart. Listen, no, Luann. You put Dart behind the same offensive line, it might even look worse. Maybe he can run. Maybe he's a little bit more athletic, but he's not reading defenses the same way as Russell Wilson. He might fare better off of athleticism alone. But you put him behind that offensive line the way it looked today, I don't want to do that. I don't. Let's wait for Andrew Thomas to get back. Let's see what they do with Marcus Bowe, and also now that I'm talking, what a trick play to your rookie tackle because he checked in as an eligible receiver. A trick play to Marcus Bowe. Was that a first down play? I think that was a first down. Remember what I told you. I hated all the first down plays that were called. Was that a first down play? I got to go back and check. No push on the inside. We couldn't. Is bad. is bad when you get, what was it? 8 plays. 8 plays within the red zone on the drive. And you can't get a yard. Not a yard. And then I got to listen to Tom Brady. Tom Brady was telling people in real time what the New York Giants should have been doing. Real time. Maybe because he had a better view than Mike Kafka on the side. Get Mike Kafka back in the booth. Get him back up there where he can see. Because the sideline is clearly not working. And then they say, "Oh, I like to call plays from the sideline to get the feel of the players or something." You saw the feeling of the players. You got Malik Neighbors upset and disgruntled. You got the offensive line looking like trash. You got Russell Wilson not knowing what's going on. He's looking at the iPad after every series like, I understand what you're telling me, but I can't see anything. You gotta laugh to stop from crying, man. Gotta laugh to stop from crying. Listen, Jonathan Hart, man. That was not a tune-up game because again, you guys didn't do anything spectacular. Can't do anything spectacular. You didn't do anything spectacular. My bummy defense today, and I'm calling them my bummy defense today, held y'all to 14 points until the fourth quarter. Worry about your defense. You got Green Bay next week. Damn, I wanted to pack y'all up so bad. Look at y'all, got the bragging rights. Sometimes God don't like ugly. And maybe last night I was being a little too ugly. That's a punishment to me. But I can't even say that because I watched how this team played today. It is what it is. Dominic says dart time. Everybody falling for that same trap. You can't put Dart behind this line. You can't do it. Wait for Andrew Thomas to get back before you do that. Please. 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 Offense easy. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Offensive coordinator is the worst in football. It said Hirsch said 0-2 start won't cut it. Listen. I'm not throwing away that Dallas game yet. We gotta pump the brakes on that. My man Chris Ice says definitely the offense. Jackson Dart will start sooner than you think. That's what Bronx Philly says. Let's see what I missed. I missed a couple of them. My bad. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Shout out to Black Love with the $4.99 super chat. He says, when are we going to start questioning the great guru, offensive coordinator we have as a head coach? We've been questioning him. But if he keeps looking like this, listen, he's still on the hot seat no matter what. He went into this game on the hot seat. Joe Shane might have saved his job with the drafts and how some of these prospects are looking. But Brian Dable's still on. He's still on the hot seat, man. He got to do so. They got to make some changes. Shout out to that dark friend with the 4-month membership. Thank you for the love and support. He says another year of no adjustments and no O-line. They waited so long to make an adjustment. Once they put Carter on the edge, he started getting pressure from that side. But we wasted so much time having him spy Jaden Daniels. By the time the third quarter got there, Jaden Daniels was so comfortable in the pocket, it didn't even matter. He was already in his zone. You're supposed to hit him early, get pressure on him early, try to rattle him early, and you didn't do it. And by the time you made the adjustment, he was already too comfortable. Even a few times that we hit him, he didn't even care. He was too comfortable. Shout out to my man 0550 with a $2 super chat. He says, I'm embarrassed walking out of the stadium, head down. Listen, and I know they giving you all the work. Pause. Shout out to my man Either Chosen One. I know he was there. Shout out to New York Revival that were in the building. Shout out to my man Sal that was in the building. I already know what it is. And the bad part about it is you can see where the adjustments needed to be. That's what makes it so upsetting. You can see, like, I'm sitting here real time watching the game, like, why are we still playing zone? Why are we still under the center? Why aren't we running screen plays? And then the one time we did run the tight end screen, I don't even think that was a real screen, actually. Might have just been a dump off. Theo Johnson can't catch the ball. And everybody and their mother telling me about Theo Johnson when I was talking about Daniel Bellinger. And the one tight end that made the play today was Daniel Bellinger. Y'all got to leave me alone, man. Oh, man. A lot of people saying the offense. Yeah, the offense was very, very bad. Very bad. New Yorker says we're too vanilla. That's a fact. My man Barry says can't score points. Man, listen. Xavier Jackson says Russell missed Slayton wide open. Yep, that would have been a touchdown for sure. I talked about that a little bit earlier. Mark Stewart. Yes. Patrick Grove says fire Bowen. Stephen R says soft zone, soft serve. Can't tell the difference. That's hilarious. We got a soft serve defense. Steve, that's hilarious, man. I might have to take that from you, Steve. Soft serve, yeah, we got a soft serve defense. I love it. I'm going to steal that. I'll give you the credit for it, Steve, but I'm definitely going to steal that. Blazing said Giants still playing preseason. I wish they were playing preseason football. We probably would have scored some points. If we were still playing preseason football. Blaze. I kind of wish we were still playing preseason football, man. Yo. Oh, man. Bronx, North Philly says our offense was worse than the defense. We can't score in the red zone. And the crazy thing about that is this. The first year in 2022, when Mike Kafka was calling the plays, we were one of the top teams in the red zone and scoring points. We had, I believe at the end of the day, they said we had 13 plays in the red zone and didn't come up with any touchdowns. 13 plays in the red zone, and you figure that's from the 20-yard line in. Of those 13, I would say a good 9 of them were inside the 5. Well, maybe 8 inside the 5. But still, crazy work. I am Baldini. I'm bald too. I miss Wink. I miss Wink too. And guess what? Michigan. Is he still at Michigan? Is he still there? I don't know what's going on, man. New York, listen. I'm going to get there. Again, I'm getting through my rant. I can feel my adrenaline has calmed down a little bit. My rational mind might start to come back by the end of this stream. I don't know for sure, but I'm pushing that way. Right? I'm pushing that way. NYG Fan 14 says only week 1. That's the truth. We could turn around next week against Dallas and actually look better. But that's seven days from now. This is still fresh. Oh, man. My man Loki, is it Loki 2? Loki 2 said, I thought y'all traded Daniel Jones. He was out there still. I'm so confused. Actually, don't even look at the box score of the Colts game. That'll make you feel even worse. I saw early in the comments, Prince Castro said we look like trash and Daniel Jones looked like he was doing something for the Colts. I know at halftime he had 2 total touchdowns. More than what we had in the whole game. Bronx says giant pain. That's a fact. Shout out to my man JJ the King in the building. He said we should have fired Kafka when we had the chance. We did the opposite. He wanted to leave and go to Seattle, and we said no, blocked you. blocked you. But I'll say this, man. I'll say this. Kafka is probably the one that I'm most disappointed in right now, because we kind of had a feeling that Shane Bowen had the ability to mess things up. Like, we were saying that for a while. So Shane Bowen being bad is not as much of a surprise as Mike Kafka looking as bad as he did today. And again, a lot of things go into that, factor into that. Again, the offensive line, the interior offensive line, not up to snuff. All the old guys beat us. Ken Law beat us. Bobby Wagner made some plays. What's the other? Von Miller. He really didn't factor too much. Eckler made some plays. Another old man making plays. The Icy Hot is in the building right now, so they're icing up for sure. They got a Thursday game. Is it a Thursday game? I think it's no, it's not a Thursday game. I think the Eagles got the Thursday game against the Chiefs. So never mind. Ian Campbell says no touchdowns, but the red zone trips. Yeah, 13 plays in the red zone. That's a fact. Make sure you hit the like button, man. Let the algorithm know we in the building. If this is your first time on this channel and you're a New York Giants fan, what are you doing? Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the day one people that always been here, that been vibing with me since the beginning. Shout out to y'all for being here still and vibing with me. At the end of the day, we'll get through it. But right now, it's about the pain of this game, and I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going through these comments, and we're going to have this nice therapy session. Junior Player says the New York Field Goal Giants are back at it. That's a fact. KC says Theo Johnson is terrible. BG said, what a day for Daniel Jones. My man James Wilkins, what's going on, James? He says sign Jabril Peppers. J-Rad says how Kafka has a job, I will never know. Again, a lot of things factor into it. I didn't like the play calling as well, but execution was a part of it as well. We didn't execute. Who knows? Some of these plays might have worked if the offensive line could protect. Maybe. We just don't know for sure because we didn't see it. KC says can't blame Danny Dimes anymore. I'm not worried about Danny Dimes. We passed that. And it doesn't matter anymore. And the Dolphins look horrible. Loki 2 says as soon as they traded bum Saquon, we knew who they was. Yeah. Charlie Collins says is Chad Powers a free agent? It ain't any. Listen, we got the quarterbacks. We got enough quarterbacks to take shots. The question is, does the offensive coordinator have enough creative ability to get something better on the field? Can he be creative enough? I thought Mike Kafka was creative enough. Today showed me that. Okay. KC says Kafka was getting interviews. Yes, he was. He was actually getting interviews still. Yep. TD Midas. What's going on, TD Midas? He says Theo drops 4 passes, stays in, Belly gets us in the red zone and gets taken out. That's a fact. And you know what's crazy? And there's no way to have victory laps. There's no moral victories. None of that. None of that in this game. There's nothing really good coming out of this game. Nothing. But if I wanted to force something, that's one of my favorite comments so far. Is what you're saying right now. Belly made one of the clutch catches of the game to keep the drive alive, and he took him right back out. How many drop passes did he have today? Was it a real 4? Was it 4? I remember 2 off the bat. Was it 4 drop passes for Theo? Somebody give me the Carfax on that. TD Midas, just let me just say yeah. If it was really 4 drop passes, I ain't even got a chance to look at the box score yet. Ed, what's going on, Ed, man? Ed Liz says, not another year of this dash. Listen, I'm going to pump the brakes. Again, this is game 1. This is against a Super Bowl competitor. No matter how much trash I talked yesterday, at the end of the day, the Commanders woke up this morning Super Bowl contenders, and they looked like the better team, and they were the better team today. Flat out. Flat out. Oh, man. Shout out to my man 0550 with the $2 super chat. He says, Dable has to go. I don't need to see anymore. You're going to see a lot more Dable. They're not going to pull the plug on this just yet. Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. I'm still in the car at the end of the day. I still bleed blue at the end of the day, just like a lot of y'all. That doesn't change. Next week, I'm going to find some way, somehow, to talk my trash against the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to do it again. I'm not changing. It is what it is. And then if we do bad, I'm going to be right here again to rant again, and it is what I'm hoping that next week is a better showing. Better showing. Dak Prescott is nowhere near the athlete as Jaden Daniels. I don't feel the need to have to spy Dak Prescott. Maybe we have a better scheme. Maybe. But again, that's in 7 days. Shout out to my man Corp CA. My bad. Let me put the $10 super chat. He says NYG is like that family member that has been on drugs for a long time and has been in and out of rehab. No matter how much they are a disappointment, we still hope that they could be relevant. That's poetic. That is poetic and very true. Very true. Oh, man, it's going to be ugly tomorrow, Monday. Commander fans, as soon as I get out of here, I'm probably going to jump in some Commander spaces just to see what they're talking about. And if I'm correct, though, the people that are going to be talking about the Commanders, they're going to say that they had a lot of stuff that they want to clean up. Even though they won this game and they won it handedly, as far as the New York Giants were never really a threat in this game, and that sucks. There's some things that I know Commander fans are going to be talking about that they need to clean up before they go see Green Bay. That's a fact. I need to get back to these games. So New Yorker says, did Scatterboo get hurt? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. I haven't watched none of the post-game stuff. I'm pretty sure they're going to ask that question. Just think about how much energy he provided in that one play. That short pass, he breaks 2 tackles, gets positive yards, and then he got snapped by Thanos, and we didn't see him again. Good Lord, man. Good Lord. In the third quarter, I tweeted a prayer. I tweeted the prayer because looking at this team, I knew that Dable wasn't going to make the adjustments. I knew that Kafka and Bowen weren't going to make the adjustments. So I turned to the only thing I ever turned to in moments of despair, and that's the Lord. And I said, Lord, please help this offense. And, maybe somebody on the Commander side was praying a little bit harder than I did because he favored the Commanders today, for sure. Or no matter how much Jameis Winston we got, no matter how much Russell Wilson and all the praising that somebody on that Commander side was praying a little bit harder than those guys. Oh, man. John Frazier says, I'm vexed. He's really mad. He said vexed. He is pissed off. He says, we have no creativity on offense. Ding, 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 for sure. The Giants are killing Neighbors' career. John, I will say this. No matter what game plan they had for Neighbors, the one thing that the Commanders, I knew the game plan for they were not going to let Malik Neighbors beat them today. This was not going to be one of those Malik Neighbors days. That was the one that, when you play, just think about teams when they look at the New York Giants right now. A lot of things are like unknown. They either think we suck or it's an unknown. So everything outside of Malik Neighbors right now is an unknown for the New York Giants, right? Or either they think we suck. The game plan this entire week was Neighbors can't beat us. And we saw that in the way that they were covering, and also Tom Brady told you on the forecast. On the broadcast. They shaded them. They shadowed them. They double coveraged them. They had them smothered. Smothered. Like grandma's pork chop. Smothered. Pause. Let's see. Shout out to my man Tony Johnson with the $5 super chat. He says refs suck too. They did miss a couple holding calls. There was a couple on Abdul Carter for real that I saw that they missed. One on Chauncey Golston too that I saw that they missed. Many missed holding calls and kickoffs that go out of the end zone should be placed at the 35, not the 20. Out of bounds. No, if it bounces in and goes into the end zone, it goes to the 20. If it goes directly into the end zone, it gets placed on the 35. I got to go back and see the ball placement. You paying attention closer than I did, Tony. So I'm going to take your word for it right now. Appreciate the love and support. Insert a username here. Says blood pressure meds for Dash. Nah, I just drink water. Shout out to Arrowhead. Arrowhead, you can be the first people to sponsor me. I always drink your water online. While I'm online. Sal says spaz out, bro. Yeah, I'm spaz. Look, listen, I'm hitting comments that are at a minute that at 1:45, and it's already almost 2:30. I'm about to get out of here, man. Let me go down to the bottom, see what people are saying, and I do apologize. This is strictly a rant. I didn't get a chance to get through the comments like I normally do. I do want to watch some more football, though. I want to watch some real football now. I want to see some competent officers play. That's a fact. So I'm going to catch some of these games that are at halftime right now. Danny Boy says we need Jameis. What's going on, Danny Boy? How you doing, man? We might need Jameis. 41-19 Dallas. That's hilarious. Refs helped out a lot. I'm still keeping my hopes high. Listen, me too, man. Again, this is the initial reaction after the game. I'm still going to go back and watch this trash again. I don't think it's worth watching the all 22 because I usually watch the all 22 when they release it. This game, there's not enough. We didn't put enough good tape out there to even watch the all 22. Save that for Bobby Skinner can do that. Big Blue Banter, they can go ahead and do that and run over the 22. I'll be watching those guys shows. I'm not doing that. They can tell me. I probably will watch the condensed on NFL Plus again, just so I can get mad all over again and confirm what I was thinking is correct. That's what I'm going to do. And I also want to see some other Giants content creators talk as well. 13 penalties. I don't think we had 13 penalties. We had 13 penalties. We didn't have 13 penalties. Nah, that ain't happened. That's not what happened. Where you at, Bill? I see Bill. Bill said, why did we wait so long to target neighbors? In the first half, I know he had like 4 targets, 2 catches for like 23 yards. He was getting double teamed. He wasn't open. And then when he was open, we wasn't getting the ball to him. They did a good job on defense. Shout out to the Commanders. As bad as we played on offense, the Commanders played well on defense on top of that. It is what it is. Call it. It is what it is. Danny Boy said, never seen Dash this mad. Yeah. No, I'm pissed off, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's a lot of energy, right? You put in a lot of energy. You got expectations. And it's not like we just got our butts whooped, which we did. We got our butts whooped, but also when you see the adjustments not being made, it's frustration. So yes, I'm mad, but I'm also frustrated because there could have been some changes that you made that could have had a better outcome on both offense and defense. Not scoring in the red zone, you got there and you didn't score. We should have had touchdowns there. So I'm frustrated for sure, 100%. Lawrence Freeman says Joe Shane's inability to evaluate offensive line talent is going to cost us for years to come. Listen, Marcus Bowe is a player. He's a guy that Joe Shane picked up. They got a guy sitting on the practice squad at center who a lot of people don't know about, Brian Hudson. You might see him get called up. I can't believe I'm saying this as well. Joshua Zoodle probably plays guard better than these guys played today. Like, I was so surprised at Van Roten today. Like, I already was a little bit shaky with John Runyon. I was a little bit shaky, but I did not expect Van Roten to get his butt kicked like he got his butt kicked today. Like I kind of expect, JMS to have some issues too, which he did. But I saw him pick up a stunt today while John Runyon gave up the stunt on the same exact play, so it didn't even matter. It is what it is. It is what it is. I expect this week to be a whole lot of put Jackson Dart in there. I expect that. Not mad about it. I won't be mad about seeing stuff like that. But my biggest question is, until you can prove that you can keep Jackson Dart safe, because you just showed that you can't protect Russell Wilson. But until you can prove that you can put Jackson back there and protect him, you don't put him back there. If somebody's going to take these shots early on, it's going to be Jameis Winston. I'm sorry, it's going to be Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. That's what you do right now. This is week one. This is week one. Chris D says Dable yells at players because he sucks. I saw him yell at Malik Neighbors, and Malik Neighbors yelled right back at him. And it's funny too because you hate to see that kind of stuff, but when even the fans can see that you're not making the adjustments, it makes it seem like Malik Neighbors is right in that situation. And I disagree with some of the antics that Malik Neighbors had today, because they were trying to target you. They did throw you a couple balls that they had no reason to throw the ball at you, because they were trying to get you involved and try to keep you happy. It's not helping. That does not help. Everybody's frustrated. Everybody's mad. Everybody's failing. It's not just you. It's not just you. And even after that, they kept trying to get him the ball. And he did get a couple of catches. I don't know what he ended the game with. Probably had like 70 yards or something like that, I'm thinking. He had that one Hail Mary. Not Hail Mary, but that one, it wasn't even a Hail Mary, but that one prayer that Russell Wilson threw up. And he was able to high point that and get that. And I think that might have been like a 25-yard reception or something like that. But come on, man. They target you. You got the targets. Some of the passes just were forced. It is what it is. New York State of Mind. What's going on? He says, to be honest, Russell has always missed some throws. He's never really been dominant on a consistent basis. He missed some. He missed some today for sure. For sure. Kylo says, you know you mad when you laugh after popping off. That's a fact. That's a fact. Russell threw a pick. Yeah, that was another prayer that he threw up. That's another prayer that he threw up. Yep, he did. Yep. Got pressure, he just threw it up there. It was fourth down. You either get sacked or you throw the prayer up, and that's what he did. That's what he did. Lori Maloney. Shout out to Lori. She says, you dash, man, I'm exhausted. He says, every year, so embarrassing. Shout out to Lori. Thank you for the love and support as always. Appreciate you. Rennis Smith says, not sold on bringing in Dart yet. You can't do it. This offensive line is the main issue. Replace the quarterback and get the same result. Exactly. Like a lot of people call, I need Andrew Thomas on the field before we throw Dart out there. I need to know what you're going to do with these guards before you throw Dart out there. And I need to see them actually protect the quarterback before you throw Dart out there. Throwing Dart out there right now is a recipe for disaster. Steven, you wild, man. Steven, you a wild. Kalen says receivers dropped a lot of passes today. Yes, they did. Theo Johnson dropped a couple. Wan'Dale Robinson had a nice deep pass that he dropped. He left his feet for it, too. Got to hold on to that. Darius Slayton was a non-factor. Come on. With all that attention that they were giving Neighbors, you would think somebody else was going to get open. I also blame Russell Wilson for that too, because somebody told me last night, and actually before last night, because my main thing was this: the way that they're playing Neighbors, the way they're going to shade Neighbors, you use your tight ends up the seam. Somebody told me, well, Russ doesn't throw the ball up the seam. I said, I understand that, but that's still where the ball needs to go. And you saw it today. There's some chances. There was chances in the seams. The hash marks were there. Didn't get it. Didn't get the target. And then when he did get the target, we got the drops. Totally frustrated, man. Patrick Grove also said Washington DBs got away with many non-calls. Yeah, they did. They did, but it is what it is. Just like the offensive line got away with some holding. Yeah. Again, I can think of 3 holds on Carter, one on Golston, that was not called. My man T. Mark Molden says, clean the coaches out. It is what it is. Joe Castillo says, where's Bo? They put him on the passing route. That's what Bo was. That's what we dealing with right now. That's what we dealing right now. Putting Marcus Bo out there on trick plays in the you go jump. Hold on. Y'all about to piss me off again. You go jumbo package. You bring in Marcus Bo as an extra blocker. Instead of just running the ball on first down, you go for the trick play and try to get your rookie out there on a little dump off route. He was nowhere to be found. Couldn't even get off the block. What happened to the Giants, man? First and goal on a 3-yard line, and the first thing you think about is a trick play to your rookie tackle on a jumbo package. That's the game in a nutshell. That's what we're dealing with today. That's what we dealt with today. Those type of decisions. I really gotta. Listen. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a football. I really gotta go watch some of these other games, man, to keep my mind off of this game. Jake says can't excuse Russ. You're absolutely right. Here's my. How about Russ is not the old Russ, but how about a quarterback design run? Not even for it to be successful, just to keep the defense guessing. No. I could have set my clock to the play calling for the New York Giants in this game. First down, running back dive. Second down, Malik Neighbors is somewhere. Let's throw the ball on Malik Neighbors. Third down, throw short of the sticks or incompletion. Set my clock to it. Who didn't have a chance? My man, BAP Podcast and Sutton Sports Talk Radio. Who we talking about didn't have a chance? Who we talking about? Let me know. Donovan Callahan says James Hudson should never take another snap again. He wasn't even the worst lineman today. He did get a penalty for a hold that wasn't even a hold. That's the crazy thing too. That wasn't even a hold. That's a drive killer. I've seen Hudson do way worse than that. That was not a hold. And even Tom Brady said it. Big Doc says we'll be a 500 team this year. I hope, right, the way we look right now, I would hope to be 500. It ain't really no 500 anymore either, but I would hope to be 500. The way we look today, I don't even want to say it. It is what it is. Did I miss a pause, South? Did I miss a pause? Listen, man, listen, that's one thing too for the people, for the Giants fans that are still holding on to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones had a good game today versus the Miami Dolphins, and you're celebrating that. Good for you. Maybe change the shades of blue to Colts blue. I don't know. Maybe because they wear the same shade of blue. Maybe I don't care anything about Daniel Jones having a good day today. If you're not on the New York Giants, I don't care. I don't care. When did we release him? November 2025? 2024? I stopped caring as soon as he was no longer a Giant. I don't care. He could take the Colts to the Super Bowl and I won't care. I got real things to worry about. I got real things to worry about. I'm happy that you're happy for Daniel Jones. He never had an O-line. He never had a wide receiver. I'm so happy that you're happy for Daniel Jones. Good for you. All right, so Bill Welly said he's definitely on. Yeah, Dable's definitely on the hot seat. He is definitely on the hot seat. Bookend, what's going on, Bookend? Absolute trash, shaking my hand and disappointing. It's disappointing. That's a fact. Disappointing is a good word to use. That's a good choice. That is a good choice. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Sean Lee, I see you. I see you. DBM says, Dash, we will improve. Redskins were better than us. But is that a surprise? It's not a surprise. You said 6 wins, and you're right. 6 wins. Listen. We talk trash. Sportsmanship at the end of the day. But I'm going to continue to talk trash because that's what I do. I'll break down the game. I'll be serious when it's time to be serious. You guys saw it in the war room where I had real discussions with the Commander fan, content creator. Shout out to my man Deuce. And we talked ball. When I got to the day before the game, the trash talking came out. So that's when the trash talking came out. It is what it is. We got bigger fish to fry now. I gotta somehow deal with this and process this loss and get ready for Dallas next week. And I hope everybody else does the same. But we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. I appreciate everybody for vibing with me. Let me make sure. Oh, I do got a couple more. Hold on. A couple more super chats. Chris Ice says, Dash, Rakeem, do I it says Dash, Rakeem, do I know the lodge? I'm sorry, do I know the ledge? I'm close, Dallas. Hey, my man Jarius, what's going on, Jarius, with the $2 super chat? He says, hey, Dash, the O-line has to give Russ more time. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. He didn't look comfortable at all. Even a couple of plays where he had time, he was flustered. Because when you look at the route concepts, when the plays break down, the route concepts, you had, what happened to your dump off? What happened to your check downs? Some of those plays, he didn't even have a check down option. Huh? What? It is what it is. It is what it is. Derek Jones says, and where was Slayton? The same place Malik Neighbors was. Covered. Well, they threw prayers up to Malik Neighbors. That's where Slayton was. The same place Theo Johnson was. The same place, actually, nobody else really got any run with a wide receiver. We didn't get into a deep rotation. Everybody that wanted Gunnar Olszewski on the team because he was so good as a receiver in preseason, where was he at? Junior plays. John Michael Schmitz wasn't even the worst offensive lineman today. He wasn't. It's a good joke, though. It makes me laugh, too. It just makes too much sense. Oh, man. Well, we get to play this team again. At least we get to play them twice, and hopefully we got our stuff together the next time we play them. Luann says, Neighbors needs to be quiet. OBJ had a mouth, too. Listen, it's too early for that. I didn't like the way he was acting real time. I understand the frustration. He was out there getting a lot of cardio, just like everybody else. Out there running routes for nothing. Frustrating. All right, let's get to it. Yeah. No. Luann says Dart can escape and throw if there's a place for him to escape to. Yes. He's more athletic than Russell Wilson, but you gotta have a back door. Pause. And today there wasn't a back door, front door, or window. They had it covered. Good Lord. Yeah, man, I'm getting out of here. Luann says it's not Dable's fault. It's somebody's fault. And when so many things go wrong, it falls on the person in charge. And he is the one in charge. It is. But listen, one game. I'm not, listen, the chat is the chat. My rant is my rant. I'll watch the game. Maybe I'll feel better after that. I don't think I will. But we got to turn around and we got another game. Again, we lost to a Super Bowl contender today. They put 21 points up on us. We didn't lose 40-0. Maybe that's the bright side. We didn't lose 40-0. But man, listen. I'm about to wrap this thing up again. I see everybody in the building. My man Mark Thompson said Dex had a quiet game. That's a fact. He disappeared for a little bit too. I thought maybe his maybe he was on the phone with his wife. Dwayne Murphy says, I'm furious. My man 05 says Dable has to go. I don't need this. Oh, I already got that one. I'm way behind. My bad, people. Again, it is what it is. This is a rant. It is what it is at the end of the day. I see the stats getting thrown up for Daniel Jones again. Fantastic for Daniel Jones. Beating up that Miami team. What was the score of the game? Bad play calling, bad O-line from Phil. Luann, that's right. We still are building. In year 4, still building though. It is what it is. Shout out to my man Coach Ed in the building. Says peace and blessings, Dad. Coaching is an atrocity. The bum deserves to be locked in a jail cell with the 500-pound celly. Yeah, it was. We got out coached. We got outplayed. The execution wasn't there. It just was all around a bad performance. Yeah. We're gonna get out of here, man. Shout out to everybody that's still in here. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down. My man TP Way says, yeah, that's a fact. I'm over Hudson, that's a fact. Preseason was false hopes. No, it wasn't. Preseason was our best showing. What happened today was our worst showing. That's what it is. The offense was not on time. And that's the one thing I said about Russell Wilson. I don't expect Russell Wilson to be the Russell Wilson of old, but I need him to be on time. He was not on time today, and he was flustered. Russ panicking when the pocket is still clean. That's a fact. He was by that time that play came when he had about 6 seconds to throw. He was absolutely panicking. He was fidgeting, running around, just patting his feet, and he had all the time in the world. What were the route concepts, though? It is what it is. He sell the team. I saw one of those. Yeah. I see it. Everybody's frustrated. So I'm going to do it like this, man. Shout out to the 232 people still in the building. We're going to go ahead and shut this thing down. Make sure you hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate it, everybody, for vibing with me. Even the Commander fan that chose to do nothing but talk trash. Jonathan Hart, shout out to you. It is what it is. Congratulations to you. I hope you lose all the rest of your games for the rest of the season. But shout out to you for winning this game today. Peace and love, right? Peace and love. And I think I'm good now, right? I think I'm good with the super chats. Shout out to my man Sneaky G. Sneaky G with the $1.99 super chat. Sneaky, man. I'm upset. We got some things to talk about on Tuesday, Sneaky. We got some things to talk about. We're going to have us a nice little kumbaya moment before we move on to Dallas. Shout out to my man Sneaky G. If you're not subscribed to my man Sneaky G, first off, what are you doing? And also, Sneaky G said it's only week 1. That's absolutely right. And I said that too, Sneaky G. We're going to end it on that too. Sneaky G, I appreciate you. I appreciate that being the last super chat. I appreciate that being the last comment that I'm going to highlight today because it is only week 1. So right now, it is not a trend yet, but I don't like how we looked. We got Dallas, and then we got the Kansas City Chiefs coming up. We got to lock in. Definitely got to lock in, and we got to make some adjustments. But I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows Big Blue Nation.